are listening to Veterans Action Report on KGRA Digital Broadcasting. I'm your host, Nick, coming to you live from St. Paul, Minnesota.
And I'm Andrew Canales, coming to you live from Evergreen, Colorado.
Every day, veterans are struggling with many issues spanning from homelessness to mental health crisis, often leading to 22 veterans a day taking their own lives. There are veterans all around the U.S. leading the fight to help guide our brothers and sisters to a better life. We will bring you stories from all around the country telling tales of veteran struggles and triumph. Every episode benefits veteran-run nonprofits Warriors Next Adventure, helping veterans fight PTSD through recreational therapy and new adventures. And Houses for Warriors, helping solve the homeless crisis, leading veterans to a better lifestyle. What is going on, everybody? Good afternoon and welcome to Veterans Action Report. Thank you again to KGRA Digital Broadcasting for giving us this opportunity. As many of you may know, KGRA is they're a great radio station, and they actually give us this show for free. So I just want to say thank you again to Bill, one of the executive producers, and Chanel, one of the other producers, for making everything just kind of run smoothly. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for giving us this opportunity, and it's actually helped us reach a lot of people. So we average usually top 10 for our time slot every single week on the digital broadcasting. We're regularly beating out, like, CNN. We're beating Fox News, Ken Black, Glenn Beck. I got his letters mispronounced there. But yeah, so it's pretty cool that we have this opportunity because Warriors Next Adventure podcast was started back in 2019, and it was just my way of connecting with veterans. I don't really ever have a focus on each episode. It's more so just a conversation between two veterans, either talking about mental health, talking about, their past, just goofy stories. If you look at some of our old podcasts, I think it was episode 6 with my buddy Nick. I think that was like 3 hours, and we were talking about like fighting sharks and stuff. It was just stupid, but those kind of conversations they're very enjoyable. I have a great time doing it. But every once in a while I meet somebody who's got a fantastic story. Today's guest is Annette. She had me on her podcast, and God, I was just getting started. So she gave me a shot. She let me come on, tell my story, and everything went really well. So I figured now that I have this platform, I'm going to return the favor to everybody who helped me. So I'm going to bring her on and let her tell everybody about herself, because I guarantee she'll do a better job than me. So, hey, what's going on?
Crazy.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
It's good to finally talk to you again. We kind of chat on Facebook here and there, but.
Yeah, but I think it's been about 2 years since we last face-to-face like this.
I'm pretty sure I was on your show in 2019.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. God, has it 3? What year?
It was either 2019 or early 2020, I think.
Yes, a long
time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how is that going? How many episodes are you at now?
139.
Dang, that's
awesome.
Yeah,
I took
how
a break.
Often do you do it?
I do it once a week. I used to do it twice a week, and then I took like an 8-month break. I was like, we'll talk about that. Mental health. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually taking a break with Warriors Next Adventure because April I quit the State Patrol, and I decided to just go off and just explore the world and figure out what I was going to do with my life. Mm-hmm. I got back pay from the VA, so I had like 10 grand in my account. So I'm like, screw it. I'm going to fuck off for a few weeks. Oh, dang it. So quick. I try not to swear in this thing. I'm 4 minutes in. So, I'm like, screw it. We're going to see how far we can go. And I ended up traveling around the country for 48 days in that bus. And it was awesome. But I'm like, I got too many things going on. So I dropped a podcast, and like literally the day I was talking about getting Warriors Next Adventure podcast back going, I was actually getting ready to go into surgery for cancer. Like the next day, I had testicular cancer, and I got a call from KGRA. It's like, hey, we need a veteran show. I'm like, I like to do my own thing. They're like, no, it's your show. I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. So yeah. So I figured I'd have you on and return the favor, because you gave me a chance at the beginning, and now that this show does so well, I want to give back as much as I can. So
thank you so much, and that's so awesome. Everybody needs to just take a trip for a month or so, because
oh god, yeah.
So good. I haven't done it, but I heard it's good.
Oh, you should.
I know.
I think when I was on your show, I told everybody about, I went to Hawaii for 8 days, and I slept in a tent on the beach and up in the mountains. I just did whatever I wanted. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, everyone's going to knock that out. All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you and why are we talking to you? Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, so it's funny because when people ask me who am I always want to say I'm a veteran. So I'm a mom first. I'm a mom. I have a 19-year-old son, 21-year-old girl, a military spouse of 24 years, and a veteran. So I retired almost 6 years ago now, and I don't know how that happened. I I struggled a lot after retirement. I think like most of us do, because that uniform I thought defined me, and I went to a really dark place. I think what had happened was, um, I let everything that happened throughout my life like just keep festering
You
inside
just
me.
keep
Yeah,
push it down.
I was a master at suppression. I was a master at just like thinking that I had it all under control
Well,
because
the
it
military kind of does that to us,
yeah,
you suck it up, push.
right. And not only did it happen when I was a child with my parents and maybe my background and being Hispanic, they're all stubborn. They're like, you don't tell anybody anything about outside of the house. So that's what I learned. And then I dated the wrong guys, and then I ended up being crazy in the military. No, like I did unspeakable things that I still pay for now, but uh I just
It's all good. We love dogs. Everyone loves dogs.
I just learned to wear many hats.
Yeah.
And until I couldn't do it anymore. When I retired, I couldn't do it anymore, and I had a couple mental breakdowns and figured that if I don't start talking about this, whether it's through therapy or on social media, I'm not going to make it.
So what branch of the military are you in?
I was in the army, and I was chemical. I was a chemical officer.
Oh, so you were the bastards that gassed us all the time.
Yes.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
That was
we
me.
we had to do that a few times in like training and stuff. It was the worst. I'll
Yeah.
tell you this much, I would rather get maced than ever tased again though.
Oh, I've never been tased. My daughter has. I don't want to.
It sucks.
I
Like
don't do it.
feels like electric jackhammers in your back. It was just awful.
Good
Maybe I'm a
lord.
big baby. I don't know, but that was terrible.
I don't think anybody likes that, do they?
No, I mean, I'm sure everyone's got their
Oh,
thing, I guess. You
right.
never know.
No
You never know.
thanks.
We're not judging.
I know, right? It's your thing.
What do they call it? Kink shaming now? Like, yeah, okay. Ooh. Okay, so when you got out about 6 years ago and you were Army, so what was this is often something that we talk about is what was your biggest struggle getting out of the military? You said a few minutes ago that you identified as the uniform.
Mhm.
That seems to be the biggest issues for most people. So what was your experience?
So what happened with me was that I didn't get selected for promotion to the next rank, and that pretty much destroyed me because I was so close. I was at 17 years, and I was like 3 more to go, and so I was devastated. It really killed me. I was ashamed, I was embarrassed, and I was mad at the world. And
What
that
rank were you at this time?
I was a major.
Your major, okay.
Mhm. And so it was pretty embarrassing for me, and I didn't know how to handle that. And the rank that I had, the uniform that I had, that really just that was me, and I didn't have that anymore. I had nothing else. And I wasn't ready because 6 months to get out was not enough time. And that transition program, although it was good in some
What
areas,
taps?
yeah,
Taps is what it's called,
taps.
right?
Yeah, taps. Um, was not it was helpful to an extent, but man, did they forgot to cover a whole bunch of things. And so I think
I
that
got some issues with taps, and I'm doing my best to work my way in there. So
oh, that exactly, and exactly, like we need to come back and talk to them about our experiences because it was not helpful. So it was not helpful at all. And I'm not the
maybe you can help me with a project then.
I would totally do it because I've heard this from someone else a couple weeks ago that even though they got a year to transition out, that
Mhm.
TAPS program was still shit. Sorry. Now I'm
No, it's
cursing.
okay.
It was still shit. It doesn't matter whether you get 6 months or a year. That week or 2 weeks long was nothing. It doesn't help you mentally. Now, I did have friends who were like, "Oh my god, I'm so jealous you get to retire." Yeah, if I would have thought about it that way, but I didn't. I was
Mhm.
like, how dare you? Screw you and everybody else, and how dare you give me only 6 months, like.
Yeah.
So that's what that pretty much broke me then.
I think I had about 3 months from the time I said I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So I went on terminal leave and I was out. I want to say I was out in 2 months, and my TAPS program was literally a 45-minute class. A 45-minute class on how to process. That's it.
Okay,
No
no.
VA healthcare, no mental health stuff, nothing.
Yeah, that's like a slap in the face.
Yeah. And
No.
the crazy thing is too is, getting I got an Article 15 back in like 2010.
Mm.
I got Article 92 because I didn't snitch on someone.
Mm.
And which, like I get it and everything like that. And I'm not saying I didn't deserve it or anything, but whatever. Either way, so I got home and this happened in Iraq, and I was like Mr. Hoorah. Like I loved my job. I was a 50 cal gunner for security forces. Like I was Air
Ooh.
Force, but I got to do like the cool shit in the Air Force. So I'm like, all right, I love this job. This was amazing. Somewhere around like 300 some missions or something like that. I loved being a 50 cal gunner. And I get back from Afghanistan in 2012, and that's when I found out, Jody hanging around, and it was like, God, like I said, it was maybe July where I'm just like, I'm getting out, and I was gone by like mid-August.
That's
So,
crazy.
yeah, they didn't really give me anything.
No.
What would you change about the TAPS program?
They need to have a counselor on site, a psychologist, a counselor, somebody to mentally prepare you. You can write the best resume in the world. You could dress in the finest clothes, but that doesn't matter, because when you are out there in the civilian world, the next day, you wake up and you're like, okay, I don't have my soldiers. I don't have the camaraderie. I don't have to be anywhere. What? I don't know what to do. Now, you can step into a corporate job the next day, great. But mentally, are you ready for that? Because you were
Yeah.
just a soldier yesterday. And now tomorrow, you're going in and nobody gives a shit about you. You're
No.
just somebody else.
And nobody cares about your military service.
No.
So sorry to everybody out there who's recently getting out of the military. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody
They
cares.
don't,
Right?
though.
If it doesn't help their vision or their image, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't have to. Just because we chose a different path in life doesn't mean that we're any better than anybody else.
Right.
But you need to learn how to properly apply everything you learn in the military to the civilian world. And it's not just the job applications, right? It's the mentality. Nobody teaches us how to think, because we're taught how to think, how to speak, and everything in the military. We're programmed.
Yeah.
And you get out, it's like delete your programming and you're just empty.
Yeah. It's very unfortunate, because you could have held the best jobs in the Army. I had a friend who, I was like, wow, the jobs he held, we were both the same branch. He had the best leadership roles that were hard to get, and he must have applied over to 100 jobs, and nothing. Nothing. How? Do you know what that does to somebody?
Yeah, it's mentally draining.
Yeah, it makes you feel worthless. Like,
Yeah.
I just, and I think that's one of the reasons one of the things I wasn't ready for, because I wanted to go and get a job. I wanted to be a GS civilian, but one of the things I was afraid of was, what if what I did doesn't matter? And I wasn't ready to accept that. So I chose to not go that route. I just wasn't ready to be denied like that.
Yeah. So when you ended up getting out, what was your first, few months like?
Those were the scariest. Because I didn't even attend my own retirement ceremony.
Really?
No, I was so pissed. Damn. I was pissed. It was, yeah. Didn't even go. People were trying to get a hold of me, and I isolated myself big time, and I ended up on the floor in the laundry room at like 1 a.m. talking to a friend who needed to talk me off the ledge. I was done. And I knew I had kids. My marriage hasn't always been great. So many things that just led up to this, to the point where I was done. And she had to remind me that it doesn't matter how long I served, that I served, and then I was successful, and I had kids, and all these things that I already knew, but it didn't matter at that moment because I was so done.
Yeah.
And I knew then that I had everything just started to surface, and I had to do something about it, and I didn't know how.
What was your friend's name?
Oh, Janie from high school. My friend
All
Janie.
right. Well, thank you, Janie. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Janie. Yes.
You know, and that's exactly what I do with Warriors Next Adventures, because, you know, when I was at my worst, you know, and it wasn't at fault to anybody, I secluded the shit out of myself. I didn't let anybody know. Everything was whoosh, just pushed down, and I didn't have anybody. I secluded myself so bad to the point where I just made the decision, you know, like, I'm done. Nobody else can stop me. You know,
Yep.
same with you, wife, kids, you know, and it just didn't matter at the time. You know, it's so messed up. What let me ask somebody else who has been to that point of, you know, potential suicide. This is the sticky stuff. Nobody likes talking about this, you know, and that's why I like bringing it up, because I like making people feel uncomfortable. So now we should be careful how we say this, because it might offend some people. But I want everybody listening to this to know, you know, both me and you have been to that point. You know, a lot of people know my story. I've told it on this podcast a million times. So, you know, I put a gun to my head and I pulled the trigger, and it didn't go off. So going back to that moment, if you could, you know, as fun as this is, would you say suicide is essentially selfish? I'll tell you my
I,
answer.
I I don't think it's selfish. We just want the pain to go away, and we think it would be better if we weren't around, so that we don't hurt our family. But what's your answer?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I 100% agree. I personally, to the point, you know, and again, I'm not judging anybody who's in this position. You know, I mean, what I do with my life is stop people from killing themselves. It essentially is, to a certain extent, selfish, because you are putting yourself number one, which I tell people all the time. You should do that. You should put yourself number one when it comes to your mental health and everything like that. But pretty much what you're doing is you're blocking everybody out, you're pushing everybody away, and you're not letting anybody try to help you. So essentially, in my explanation, it is selfish to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Now, those who have lost people to suicide, which I've lost friends to suicide, you know, it's terrible, and you're going to have certain thoughts. And I think that there's a lot of people that have a lot of these similar thoughts, but they don't say it because it's like, do not say that, or you're this, or whatever. It's perfectly normal to think that when you have somebody close to you commit suicide or take their own life, however you want to say it, whatever way makes you feel happy. It's ugly either way, but it's normal to have those thoughts. Like, you know, this person killed himself when he could have called me. That was so selfish. It's a valid thought. You know, it's a valid thought to think that that person is a jerk, you know, for doing that.
Right.
But like you said, you know, we just want the suffering to end. You know, we've both been in that position, and it's to the point where it's just, life is so damn hard, and it's just, we want it to be over.
Right.
So I'm happy you had somebody there to talk you off the ledge. You know, we all need that. I call it the 3 a.m. friend.
Yes.
You know, that person you can call no matter what time, you know. So what was your path like after this? So, you know, your friend helped you kind of find yourself again. You know, what was your next step?
So then I had, I think some of my Facebook posts might have come off a little, it came off to people. I can't even think of the word. It just didn't read right. So I had friends who reached out to me, former soldiers, who would call me and say, "Hey, you know, you okay? What's going on?" And I think that's just what I needed, and I needed to hear that their transition was very difficult as well. So then I started to realize that I wasn't alone, even though I kind of knew I was. It just feels alone, you know. It feels lonely. So I started to write. but I started to write. I think I picked a private account on WordPress or whatever, and I didn't want anyone to know. Still kind of ashamed until I decided that I needed to just create a blog and just put it out there. Like I was tired of pretending. You know,
Mm.
people they would make comments like, well, why are you putting yourself out there like that? Aren't you seeing a therapist? And I got kind of angry, like, I should be able to have this platform to speak out so that someone else can chime in and say, hey, me too. And that's when I created the blog and the website.
Do you find that when you share and you're vulnerable, right?
Hmm.
Now, I have a certain reason why I do certain things, so I want to know
Hmm.
your experience. Do you notice people reach out that are feeling the same? And do you find that more often rather than people telling you to, hey, don't talk about that? You know?
Yes, lately or in the past few years, I've had people who reached out, whether it was anonymously or through the website or through Instagram. They will reach out and say, thanks for posting this, or, this is what I needed to hear. And so that makes me feel better because now I've gotten to a point where I don't care. I mean, there's going to be negativity no matter what you do, right?
Sure.
Um, and I think the only people that matter is my family. Anybody else, I guess I'm just too old for that now. I'm too old for that crap. Like I know what I'm trying to do. I have kids that are watching me, so
Yeah.
your comments don't really matter anymore.
Do you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is?
Yes.
Gary V.
Hmm.
Um, he had a quote that helped me out during a certain point in my life, and a couple of years ago, I value the 5 love languages, correct?
Hmm.
So words of affirmation are important to me. I don't really need them,
Hmm.
but I think I take a little too much value when people reach out to me, right? So this was back then, and he said something along the lines of, stop giving a shit what people say. If somebody comes to you with a compliment, just say, "Oh, cool, thanks," but don't let that change the way you think about anything.
Yeah.
He's like, because if you're affected too much by compliments, when you get negativity, it is going to destroy you. And so I started
That's
thinking
good.
about that. It's like, God, when anybody criticizes me, even the slightest, I'm like, well, shut up. I put my fist up and I'm like, let's go. Like, duh, don't you dare criticize me. I'm perfect. And it's like, why do I do that? So I started thinking about like, am I giving too much credit towards any kind of positive affirmation and negative affirmation? And so I've had people tell me like, it's like, you don't give a shit about anything. It's like, well, it's not the fact. I just don't let anything affect me. I react the way I want to, you know?
That's true. No, that makes sense. But I think we're just human, If I get
Sure.
I didn't get a all 5-star review on my book, and my feelings got hurt.
You want to stab them?
I'm like,
Come on.
that wasn't nice. But I understood. I understood why she did it, and so
Sure.
I had to step back and go, okay, really, and that stop. So, because we're so passionate about what we do, so when we do get negative vibes, it's like, well, I'm just trying to save the world, so
Yeah.
screw you.
I know, right?
So, so I try not to take that. I try to take it with a grain of salt and say, okay,
Sure.
maybe they don't agree, but I can't let that deter me from saving the world.
Oh, exactly. And for some people, you probably have saved their world, right? Because everybody has their own perception of what the world is, right?
Yep.
If you say one positive thing and you help one person, that literally changes their world.
Yep.
So like people like you doing what you're doing, and then when I get the pleasure of doing with Warriors Next Adventure, there's a lot of people out there that are really doing amazing things. Like imagine if we just like didn't do anything because we got one person criticizing us.
Exactly. Exactly. But that just makes us want to do more.
Hmm.
Like I got 2 rejections today, and it kind of sucked to read those emails. I was like, oh, I was really hoping that was a yes. But okay, so I'm just gonna keep continue on to do something
Yeah.
else.
I got a rejection for a speaking gig. It would have got me $1,000. They ended up picking somebody else. I'm like, damn it.
Doesn't that
Who is that person?
right? Let me find them. Are they better than me?
Who's this person that can say things better than me?
I
You
know,
know,
man.
I
But
mean,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I have been trying really hard because there's days where it doesn't always work out this way. I try really hard to believe that what is meant to be will come.
Uh-huh.
So I gotta know, but maybe there's something bigger that's gonna be a yes, or maybe it's gonna teach me a lesson. whatever. I just have, that's what I have to believe. And that's what I'm trying to do. So it's like, you didn't get the speaking gig. That's okay. Cause you're going to get another one,
It
but
might be
it's
something else.
hard, but it's hard.
You know, I heard a story not too long ago, and I use this in my references for a lot of my speeches, but you think about it like this. You ever heard the story about the farmer? All right.
Mm-mm.
Vague story, I know. So there's a farmer, and he has a horse. His horse runs away, and the villagers say, "Oh, that's so terrible." And he goes, "Well, maybe." The next day, his horse comes back with 3 other wild horses, and he goes, "Oh, this is amazing." And he goes, "Well, maybe." The next day, one of the horses kicks one of his sons and breaks his leg. And all the villagers say, "Oh God, that's terrible." He says, "Maybe." The next day, the military comes through looking for soldiers for a war, and they skip by his son because his leg is broken. And they go, what an honor, what a great thing. He doesn't have to go to war. He says, "Well, maybe." And we never know what's going to happen during certain situations, but you always have to have a positive outlook. The people that say like, "Oh, positive only," like, shut up. Okay, there's negative things that happen. Okay, you gotta, you can't just walk around blind like, "Oh, nothing bad ever happens."
No.
It's not the way that works.
Right.
But when negative things do happen, you have to look at it like, what can I take out of this situation? Same with anything positive.
Mhm.
What can I take out of this? But what can I get better at?
Yeah.
And so I stopped living like, just like every time something happens, I just go, "Whoa," because I get super excited, like ridiculously excited. My girlfriend cannot stand when I'm excited about something because I'm like, "Oh my God, listen, just don't ask any questions, just listen." And I
That's
get
what I
so
do.
excited. Oh my God. She's just like, she'll like, "Hold on. I got questions. You're giving me too much information." I'm like, "No, just wait. Hold your questions. Write them down." And I just keep talking. And I'm just like, "Okay, I'm sorry."
That is so funny.
Well, I mean, like anybody who listens to this, who is a victim of one of my excited calls, um, they'll know that it's pure joy and excitement because I have a weird brain where, like, you ever seen the Lego movie?
Yes.
You know the part where he builds Legos just by talking in his mind? I swear that's what I do, and I could see everything like 10 years into the future. I'm like, "This is gonna be amazing." And then I stop and write everything down. It's like, "Bloop, bloop, bloop. Well, this can't happen yet." And so I set that excitement aside and I move on to something else. So nobody knows if it's something that's actually going to happen or if it's just one of Nick's endless rants of excitement. Either way, I got victims.
No, I love that because I think we've just been through so much. So
Yeah.
to be able to experience joy and just to be happy about it, that's just because my family does that too. They're like, "Okay,
Yeah.
why are you so happy about this?" I'm like, "Because you don't understand." And
Just understand what I'm thinking. Come
I
on.
know.
It's funny too because like I got I built a board and my ambassador program full of people, which by the way I want to talk to you later about something, um full of people that I can call and be excited and they're going to give me what I need. Right when I'm excited, I need people to just go, "Whoa." I don't care how stupid it is, just give me
I
that.
know.
Okay, damn it. I'll
Exactly.
call you later for the critiques. I don't want the critiques now. I want excitement, and then we'll talk critiques later.
Yeah, just
Um,
listen to me.
yeah, you need those people close to you. You need that one friend that you call, just be like, "Bro, guess what?
Oh, yes.
What?" You could send them a picture of a turd, and they just be like, "Whoa,"
I know.
Guys do that.
Yes. Yes, I
We
know.
all, yeah.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God. Okay, so how did you get to the point where you decided I'm gonna write a book, right? And there's the reason why I want to have you on is because I'm writing mine too, and I look up to you, and just seeing the fact that you've done so well with everything. How did you come up with the title?
Oh man. So I believe in God. I do. I've lost my way over my life, but I that just came to me one day and no one understands it. My family doesn't get it. That was how I was living my life. That's how I feel I was living it. And I don't know, that's just it came to me and I was like, that's it. And I did. I had two lives. I was trying to be one person, but I was really another person. And there was something holding me back. And so
So what's the
that's
metaphor for the book then? Was it because you never really processed out of the military, and like what were the two lives? Give us a little bit of the book.
so I experienced sexual trauma as a when I was 10. And that carried over with me into my life. I never really got to fully process that. I mean, I went to court, I testified. I think I went to therapy for a little bit. I don't remember. And then I just continue on with life. And then I dated guys who were abusive, and I wanted acceptance. I just needed acceptance. So anytime I dated somebody that left, it was like traumatic for me. And my parents divorced when I was 6. So it was like all these events leading up to where I am when I finished the book. I just felt like it needed to be more than a blog. It needed to be something to show people that no matter what they go through, there's hope. That you can survive it. I don't want to say I'm all great now because I let my life out like that. There's still times where I get emotional over things because man, that was really hard.
Yeah.
And that was really it. I had to confront my family and tell them about it and say, hey, you're going to be in it. I could use your name or not. And I was very blessed to have everyone's name in there is real. And that was hard. It was hard. The hardest I think was, so it was published. I didn't even read it, but I did an audiobook. I didn't.
Oh,
I
it
was
is
like,
on audiobook?
I have it on audiobook. And so when
hell yeah.
I narrated it myself,
Did
that shit was hard.
I can't read. Like this sounds stupid. Like I can't read. You give me a script. You ever heard Floyd Mayweather try to read?
No.
It's like like fucking like Billy Madison today, Junior, because I can't put the words together. And I was like, dude, I want to do an audiobook. I was like, I cannot read that myself. There's no way.
You can. So I have somebody.
No,
I know someone who did it, who helped me with it. And he was awesome. So if you ever decide you want to, but
I will be contacting you for sure.
He helped me. There was a it took us a few hours, a few days, but I was determined to narrate my own book, and so I did it. It was emotional, but it was good. Yeah. So
did you leave some of the emotion in the book? Like Jordan Peterson, The 12 Rules for Life, he reads his book and he gets super emotional when he talks sometimes. I fucking love that about him. Did you leave some of that stuff in there? Oh, God, I'm so excited.
There was times where I was choking up, but I had to stop at one time because I really broke down. I couldn't even read. So, but yeah, that's why I wanted to do it. So bottom line is, with that whole roundabout story, my whole purpose was not to become famous off of it, but to show people that we all go through something. Yes,
Bam.
sir. Yes, sir.
I had a free credit. Sorry.
Sweet.
Do you still get paid when people use the free credit?
No, but it's I don't think so. I don't know. I don't even know. Good question. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we just want to help people. So
that's awesome. I'm excited to read it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've had so many authors on my I have so many books stacking up. And I'm like, God, put your shit on audiobook so I can actually listen to it. Sweet. I'm excited to listen to it.
Yay.
No, it's nice too, because it's not only listening to books with people with similar lives, right? So one of the main things that I got just destroyed over in one review on Warriors Next Adventures, because I said that civilians can empathize with veterans, and I was told that I'm a piece of crap and I'm not a real veteran and I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, what? Okay. And so I got a 0-star rating. But it's like, you know what? Having somebody similar who's been through something similar, just talking about it, being open about it, helps you realize that, you know what? No matter what I've been through, I can open up. One of my big sayings for Warriors Next Adventure is vulnerability is courage. Sticking your neck out there and saying, hey, I'm not doing okay. That's huge, because the amount of social aggression you can get. But it's those people, which is why I asked you this earlier. It's those people that reach out and say, hey, I saw what you posted. Like, I really needed that today. And that's my energy in life. Like, I need that. Not the fact that people say that to me, but the fact that I gave somebody something, there we go, that actually helped them, you know? So like people like you sharing your story in this book, I cannot wait to read it. I kind of wish I would have read it before I had you on. I'm sorry.
It's totally okay. I've had people on. I'm like, I didn't get your book in time. No, and that's the thing is that so there's always somebody watching, reading, listening. They don't have to comment, but I've had people call me and say, I'm not a big commenter, but man, I just want to tell you. And that what is
Yeah.
what gets me all emotional because this, one of my peers, we were commanders together. I've known him since 2005 and he's not a big commenter at all, but he personally called me to tell me, "Hey sis, I just want to tell you." And I was like, like people, and my kids follow me on social media. Now they might not always agree. My daughter will be like, "Mom, what's this shit that you posted?" I'm like, "Just let me live my life." So, but they're right, but they're seeing it, and I want my whole thing is to leave a legacy for my kids. So when they get older, they'll be like, yeah, mom posted stuff, but let me tell you why she did this.
Yeah.
And my daughter read my book, and she, there were some things that she kind of knew, but things that she didn't, and she from then it has actually helped her in certain situations she had in life. That is when I knew this is what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So,
well, especially when you can reach your child, like that's
God,
huge.
yes, absolutely.
So you know that tour that I went on, traveling around the country with the
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu tournament
yeah,
or the jiu-jitsu seminars in Dallas. My sister actually lives in Dallas, so my stepmom and my daughter flew down, and my daughter actually came to one of my speeches. Right now, I talk about killing myself in these speeches, right? You know how hard that is to give a speech talking about how you try to take your own life in front of your daughter, especially with her knowing that she was alive when I tried this, like, so we've talked about it. And my daughter's a friggin' angel, like literally the best kid I could ever ask for. And I'm sitting here giving this speech, and for the first time ever giving this speech in front of people, I break down. Like I had to stop. Like I was sobbing. I was just like, I can't believe I did this. I look over at my daughter and I put my arms out. She came over and gave me a hug, and I just told her I loved her. And I kept going with the story. It's like, I mean, I'm tearing up right now. It's just like, it was so beautiful seeing my daughter come over to try to like console me. And it's like, I'm your dad, like, what are you doing? But it's like, it's knowing that I created a human that can sense that,
yes.
it's beautiful.
And she'll remember your courage. That's,
Yeah.
You're making such impact. When I had my first in-person speaking engagement in 2018, my brother came. It was in Arizona, and he came because he drove from California, and that was the first time he heard about me taking a gun. And he was like, he was filming it and tearing up at the same time. But that was the first time he ever heard that, him and his wife. And I was like, oh man, he had no idea. But that's the kind of thing that, I told him I live with. I hid that. I didn't want anyone to know about it, but I can't live like that anymore.
Yeah.
I can't.
You got to let it free.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the crazy thing is when, I'm sure you experience the same thing when I go out and give my speech. I think I've given like 100 speeches in the last year and a half. And I enjoy it so much because it's not that I get to stand in front of people and talk, right? It's, I'm always trying to gain donations for the nonprofit, but my speech is always just letting like to the people, right? If people donate, sweet. It's never my focus. But it's those people that come up to me afterwards, like, I thought I was alone. Like I tried to kill myself 2 years ago, or, I've been contemplating suicide, or like, I wasn't going to come to this today because I've been suicidal and I feel like shit, but now I'm here with you. And it's like, I want to come with you, So it's like, it feels good to be vulnerable and open up, because tell me when you first started talking, right? Tell me, didn't it feel like 1,000 pounds was lifted off your back when you finally started like freeing everything?
Absolutely. It was ridiculous. It was just an emotional, just overwhelming. Yeah, all the things.
Well, it's such a good feeling too, because like you find it's like you're just freeing that. It's just like,
yeah.
Like when I teach people how to meditate, I always teach that one breath, right? The just You just let your whole body just go limp when you let that breath out.
Right.
And it's like when you finally free the shit from your past that's just been haunting you, it's like you're letting everything go.
Mm.
It's all about I just shared a post the other day on Warriors Next Adventure, and it was about a raft. You know, the Buddhists talk about this a lot, right? If you need to cross a raft, you can build, or I'm sorry, let me start that again. If you need to cross a stream, you can build a raft. When you get to the other side, the raft is useless, right? So set it down. There's so many people out there that are still carrying the raft because they're attached to it. You don't need that anymore. Set it down. And that's, talking about acceptance, forgiveness, and learning how to let go. And sometimes the best way to let go is to open up and talk about it.
Yeah.
Find somebody like you or like myself, or just, a counselor, go to your vet center. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Even if you're not a veteran,
Right.
call somebody,
Right.
So how has this journey kind of helped you, with buddy? Oh my God, my daughter's naked and she's got a shampoo bottle in her hands. Pretty sure she's having herself a bath. As many of you know, my 9-year-old is autistic, and I'm terrified to go in that bathroom. I'm just gonna let her do her thing. Soap doesn't cost too much.
This is real life, guys.
Oh, I love that kid. So how has this, writing your book, starting your website, which, by the way, you guys can go check out her website here, a wild ride called Life. See, I told you I can't read. But yeah, you can purchase your book from this website too, correct?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I Googled it, and it's in like Walmart, eBay, Target. Like, your book is everywhere.
Yay.
Yeah. I'm going to be coming to you once I get mine started, because I got to figure out what to do.
Yes.
No, it's amazing. I'm proud of you. Like, this is so cool seeing other veterans. The reason why I started Warriors Next Adventure podcast and Veterans Action Report is to have people like you on, because you deserve a platform to actually be like, you know what? You do anything, plus I don't think there's enough female veterans that are like standing up and leading female veterans, so seeing somebody like you out there really paving the way for others, I love it. And I want to promote you as much as I can.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Plus, you're a good person. You're funny. You're easy to talk to. It makes it a lot easier too, So what are your plans, right? So you got your book written. You have your website. What exactly do you do with your website?
Oh, it's all over the place. Honestly, I'm trying to actually fix that website. So if you know a website designer, doesn't cost $1 million.
What builder do you use?
I use Wix.
Wix, okay.
I want to move it to WordPress.
My girlfriend is damn good at Wix, so if you guys want to talk,
okay, we'll talk.
She's really good at designing websites.
Okay, we'll talk about that. But so the website, it just started as a blog. Now it has all the things on there, the podcast, the book, and you can actually be a guest blogger on there. I invite people to share their story by writing a blog and submitting it. And so giving people a space to use their voice in different platforms. So so that's for that. Would you ask me what are my plans next?
Yeah, what do you got planned for the next few years?
Oh man. So if you haven't heard, I'm really freaking excited about this. I got accepted into the Musicians Institute of California as an independent artist. So I'm going to be songwriting and producing.
That's amazing. No, I didn't know that.
So
when does that start?
That starts April 11th.
Dude, that's so close. Are you excited?
I am so excited, but let me tell you the backstory of that. I had to actually to apply. So first, you need to check out the VRAP program, the Veterans Rapid Ready Rapid. Oh my God! Just go look at VRRAP.
VRRAP.
Yes. So I applied for that program. They give you up to 12 months of school for free on their approved school list. Nice. The Musicians Institute was one of their approved schools, but I had to apply for it, and I had to submit 2 original pieces of music.
What kind of music do you play?
I wrote 2 songs. I had someone else play it because I'm not at that level yet. But as long as I produced it myself, then that was sufficient, and they
Mhm.
accepted me. So this program is going to help me do this, to continue writing music and then produce it, because I want to use this as a form of music therapy.
Okay.
So I want to turn, like for example, one of the things I really wanted to do last year was I wanted to write a song to go along with my book. But there was just so much going on. I didn't have the finances to hire someone to do it for me. So this
Sure.
is what I want to do. So for those of you who write a book and you want a song associated with it, we can do that. I will be ready to do that for you. I
I
want
like
to
that.
use your words, and make it into song, into music. I going to relearn how to play the guitar. I own a pink Fender, and I'm never getting rid of it because I'm going to play it. Look,
Yeah, pink. Go grab it. Let me see it.
look. Can you can you can you see?
I can see the head. Yes, but it or
Hold
the
on.
neck.
Hold on.
I gotta see this pink guitar. Yeah, there you go.
Can you see that?
Here, pop it up a little bit. There you go. Dang, that's awesome.
I bought it in 2005. She's so pretty. She's so pretty.
I like it.
So I'm going to do that. So yeah, I want to, because I know a lot of us use music as a
Yeah.
way to heal, to get out of the funk, to do whatever, to work out. I want to do more with that because I use music for everything. So I want to do more, and I'm going to do that with this certificate that I'm going to get. So that's my next biggest exciting thing. I'm really excited to do this.
So I have a potential opportunity for you then. I can't promise anything yet because it's the whole live as if the future is today kind of thing, right?
Yes.
I'm going to be building a veterans mental health retreat here in Minnesota, and so what I'm trying to do is it's going to be a big facility with a wood shop, auto shop, jujitsu mats, like weightlifting, podcast studio, recording studio, everything, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I'm getting ready to do like a 5-day retreat. So it'll be Monday through Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And people can come out and I'll put them through a 5-day mental health course using my 6 principles. But I'm not going to use it every single week, right? So there's another organization that I've been chatting with here and there called Reuniting After War. They're a local nonprofit here in Minnesota. Just I spoke at their board meeting. They're all a group of sweethearts. I love all of them. They're amazing. But they get squads together. And so like a whole squad. So if you wanted to get like a full squad from Iraq, like 15, 20 people, they will fly all of you to Minnesota, take you to a resort, and you get 4 days just to chill. And so they're going to potentially be using our resort or our retreat at least once a year. And so we're trying to partner with them to save them money. But also, it helps us because it helps us pay our bills and everything. But if you get down the road and you want to do like a music therapy retreat, like I would love to offer it up to you.
That's awesome.
And then whatever you would charge, whoever, we'll figure that out down the road. But
yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's
so my goal is to have a big recording studio and then at least 10 beds.
Yes.
So
it's so exciting. Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I just want people like you to utilize the facility, because it's not just it's Warriors Next Adventure, but it's for veterans. Like I want everybody to be able to use it. So
yeah, that's so awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, we could totally tag team them too. Like you do the music therapy, and then we could do like fire talks and go into like post-traumatic growth speeches around the fire, and that'd be sweet.
So many things.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that when
I know
comes to fruition.
Yeah, so cool.
Did we talk? I can't remember if it was you were one of the people I was talking to about it, because it was Elijah Best, and somebody else. But we were talking about doing like some sort of like veteran summit, trying to get a group of veterans together and actually putting on like a 3-day or like a 2 or 3-day, essentially a seminar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just get a bunch of different veterans out there who either offer something to the veteran community or like can give like an inspiring story or something along those lines. I don't think I talked to you about it.
I don't think so.
Okay. We'll have to talk offline about that.
Okay.
Because I'm slowly getting veterans put together who I think would be interesting to have out and who people would, because it's going to be a paid event. Because we got to pay the speakers, we got to pay the rental, everything like that. So, but I would like all the speakers to get paid equally.
Mhm.
Right. So, you know, some speeches you go to where it's like one guy gets like 20,000 and you get like $400. That's
Right.
ridiculous. Right. It shouldn't be like that. It should
Right.
be across the table. So I'm thinking about doing something like that along those lines to have people like you out there so you can speak, but also get paid. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know when we're going to do it. We were talking about it late 2019, then COVID happened. So that never happened.
Oh, COVID.
Oh, so fun. All right. Well, we only got about we got a couple minutes left here.
Okay.
Why don't you go ahead and give out any information and how people can get a hold of you and how they can check out your book?
So, yes, you could go to my website. I'm on Instagram as well, and Facebook and Twitter, on LinkedIn for sure. So you can reach out. You can reach out to me any way you want. I do have people that come on anonymously, but if you just, I can't even talk right now. You
Good.
can reach out to me any way you want. I will get back to you as soon as possible. And if you just need someone to listen to hear you, I'm here too. So
How does somebody submit a blog with you?
they just go to my website and there's an option there to be a guest blogger.
Okay, and then they type up their blog and submit it to you and you review it first?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You're not gonna have some wackos on there just typing stuff.
Yeah, no. I will always get the preview.
You know the veteran community. There's gonna be a penis in there somewhere, but
Oh my God, right? Like it's not that kind of website.
all right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. You're always fun to talk to. We got to do this again.
Yes.
I'm starting Warriors Next Adventure podcast again, so it's pretty much the same thing. It's just a little bit more relaxed and a lot less time restraints, stuff like that. So we'll talk again soon. But
Awesome. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
don't go anywhere. I'm just gonna pop you in the studio real quick. We'll talk here in a minute.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Wow, guys, go check her stuff out. Again, it's a wild ride called life.com and go check out her book. I just purchased it on Amazon. I'm sorry, on Audible right now. Where is it? There you go. So go ahead and check out her book, The Wall Between Two Lives. I'm excited to read it and listen to it. I try to listen to at least one book a week. So this will cover this week, which is nice. I want all of you to know Warriors Next Adventure. We have that hockey tournament coming up. It's May 28th and 29th. We still need teams. We finally got the cup. We don't have it in our possession yet, but it's the Warrior Cup. The thing's awesome. Looks like a mini Stanley Cup. It's got the Memorial Hockey Tournament logo on there. Every team winner will actually get their name engraved on the trophy, and they get a discount for the next year. So again, May 28th and 29th. It's a 2-day hockey tournament. It's a 3-game guarantee, and then the winner of both round robin tournaments get to actually play for the championship on Sunday later on in the day. We got Hockey Mom brownies coming out there, which I cannot wait to try some of their stuff. And then we also have ODB meet and greet food truck coming out with some pulled pork sandwiches and everything. I cannot wait to try their stuff. As usual, my partner Andrew couldn't make it today, but go check out Houses for Warriors. They're helping veterans with the homeless situation over in the Colorado area. They just had a guy named Zach who was a part of their program, came in. I met the guy when I was visiting, super nice kid, and just fell on some hard times and ended up homeless, ended up going to the Warrior House, which Houses for Warriors has a group home for veterans. And he actually graduated the program and they got him moved into his own apartment. They helped him get some stuff and he's doing great. So couldn't be prouder for him. House of Warriors doing great things. Go check those guys out. You can check out warriorsnextadventure.com. You can donate there. Also go check out our Patreon. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. And I hope everyone has a good day.
Perfect. Perfect.